Hello?
Hello, is this Bryan?
Yeah, this is Bryan.
Hey, Mike Peterson here at KMA. How you doing today?
Hi, Mike. How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Are you ready to do the interview here?
Yes, I am. Thank you for calling.
Okay. Hang on just a second and I'll be right with you here.
Oh, no problem.
Get this set up here. Alright. Bryan, do you go by Bryan? I noticed your middle name is Jack. Do you
Yeah.
go by that?
I go by Bryan, but I've used my dad's middle name. A lot of people in Council Bluffs know my family through our family business, and my dad was a teacher and a school principal in Council Bluffs. So we've had the photography business and my dad's work with the school system. So I thought I'd get more name recognition if people remembered my dad. And when I was out getting signatures, a lot of people remembered my father or knew him personally. So that's one of the reasons why they signed my papers. So.
All right. Well, we've got a recorder rolling. Bryan, can you talk about why you decided to run? Well, first of all, tell me a little bit about yourself. You were telling me about your father, who was a school teacher in the Council Bluffs area, and your family that ran a photography studio. Tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Yes, I grew up with the idyllic middle-class childhood. My mom stayed home and raised my sister and I and managed the family business while my dad was at school being a teacher and a principal. So I attended St. Albert High School in Council Bluffs, was a student athlete, and I went to Iowa Western on a basketball scholarship and continued my studies at Bellevue, where I earned my Bachelor's of Science in Psychology and graduated from Creighton Law School in 1998 with my doctorate in law. So I decided after that to get involved full-time in the family photography business and sort of live out that American dream of having your own business. And business was good for about a decade, but this latest recession has never ended, and it's really damaged our business. The economic policies of the government and the fact that not a lot of people have disposable income these days to spend on artistic work. So I'm doing this just to be another voice in the political process, and just to be an advocate for all the little people who think that these parties don't necessarily represent all of their interests. So.
Well, it sounds like that's pretty much the reason why you decided to run for the office. What are some of the issues that you've been focused on in this campaign?
Yeah, I've talked about several existential crises. One of them is this national debt that we have, and all the unfunded liabilities going forward into the future. I'm not an economist, but I've studied economists and read plenty of things, and realized that this debt is at some point going to be defaulted upon at some point, and then that's what does the world look like and what does America look like the day after, because we've been printing this money, and the quantitative easing has been going on, and the interest rates are near zero. So this is punishing everyone that's saved and trying to make a little bit of income off of their investments. So and I don't have all the answers for this, but at least these are issues that we need to talk about, and all of us need to be able to have a place at the table.
Let's talk about some of the other issues that have been, I know, very important in this campaign. There's a lot of talk about Social Security, about privatizing Social Security. What do you favor to keep that program solvent? Yeah,
the government they're going to have to continue doing what they've been doing, because there are too many people that rely upon it for survival. And my parents are those type of people. They paid in their whole lives, but when you look back on how Social Security was set up, it was set up just to support people the very end of life, and a lot of people never lived long enough to receive it. But now I know my grandparents had nearly 30 years of retirement time, 25 years of retirement time that they lived on. And if you look around now today, most Americans don't have anything in a savings. Most Americans can't gather a few $1,000s within a few days if they need to. So obviously we can't stop the Social Security system the way it's set up now. The flip side of that is somebody that's my age, that's almost 42, I'm looking at a future where I'm going to be paying for this and paying these taxes, and it's going to run out of money, it's going to be insolvent, and the currency eventually will be worthless. So, to pretend that the train isn't going to come off of the tracks at some point is to be really unrealistic. So we need to talk about these issues and what we're going to do. I know our government has continuity of government plans for what happens if there's an economic collapse, if there's a pandemic, if there's an electromagnetic pulse attack, nuclear. Our government has contingency plans to continue the government, but I want to see the contingency plans to continue our way of life, our American way of life. And I haven't seen those. It seems that we're all sort of left up to our own devices, and we're sort of on our own in an emergency. So.
Okay, so what do you favor as far as Social Security keeping the insolvent? What approach would you take?
Well, they're going to have to keep paying things out the way they are now. Congress will probably try and raise the age. They'll probably do that, and they'll try to cut the benefits. But people haven't received those cost of living adjustments, and it's not keeping up with inflation. So, there's no easy answers. The entire system is based on a house of cards that the dollar is actually worth something. And it's worth something today, and every day it is, but this stock market bubble is going to pop at some point, and the market's going to lose value, and that's what I worry about, is how the average citizen is going to react to that, because most people don't have any money now in the stock market. And if this thing collapses and there's a reset, who knows what's going to happen? I don't know, but there's all sorts of major issues like this, but it all goes back to the money. The money is the problem. So.
What about the minimum wage?
Yeah, I mean, there's.
What about do you support a minimum wage increase?
This is another issue. It's tied in with our money, and it's tied in with our free enterprise system. That if you're going to run a free enterprise system and businesses are able to operate freely, they have to have a profit margin. There has to be a motivation for people to invest and take the risk and try to draw a profit. So if you mandate that you raise the minimum wage, these businesses that are paying minimum wage will either cut staff or raise their prices accordingly to comply with the law. And all that does is increase the inflation and the price wage spiral going upwards. And, obviously people should be paid more for the work that they're doing, because your money doesn't buy hardly anything at all when you go to the grocery store. I know the fuel prices came down a little bit, but I believe they just used that to manipulate us, to get us to think, oh, things are better now that they took 50 cents or 75 cents off the gasoline. But it's all their way of keeping us in line and not asking questions. So.
Let's talk about one other issue, of course, health insurance. Health care is a big issue. Do you support the Affordable Care Act, or do you believe that Obamacare should be repealed?
Yeah, that's a great question. I am not participating in Obamacare, even though I have several pre-existing conditions and I could get all of my medical stuff paid for. But I'm not doing that based on principle that as a free person, you have the right to enter into contracts or not to enter into contracts. And the federal government has no authority, and neither does the state government, to force a free person to sign a contract, because a contract is based upon consent and it's based upon mutual agreement. So I had a back surgery 11 years ago that I had to pay for out of my own pocket, which cost me about $26,000. And I didn't file bankruptcy. I could have, but I didn't. I made payments on it and eventually paid off my medical bills. But now with Obamacare, I could maybe get the procedures done for free, but I wouldn't burden my fellow citizens and taxpayers to pay my own bill. So there were some things in Obamacare that were good, like the not declining people based on pre-existing conditions. But there could have been some free market solutions. There's absolutely no price transparency when it comes to medical care. You can go down from one doctor to another doctor on the same block and get different prices for the same service that they offer. So there's absolutely no price transparency, and you're not allowed to purchase insurance across state lines like you are with automobile insurance. So I live here in Council Bluffs, and there's lots of insurers across the river in Omaha, Nebraska, but I cannot go across the river and purchase health insurance. And Obamacare didn't do away with that. What it actually did was set up these state exchanges where now you have to enter this state exchange. And this gives way too much power and control to the central government that, they can't keep our secrets from being stolen. They can't keep our identification and that information. Our banking system is vulnerable. So I don't think we should have to give them even more information about ourselves, and go into the database with Obamacare. But
all right. I don't believe I need anything else from
okay.
you. Bryan, I think that's going to do her.
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, I just I wanted to see how this thing could be done by an average person, and I've only spent a few $100s to do this thing, but what I've learned is that the parties really don't care about us after Election Day. But if you can run as a candidate and sort of get out there and be an advocate for whatever issues people feel are important to them, and I'm willing to teach other people how to run for office and do it without money and without asking people for money. So, but there was one other thing I was going to ask you too. Is do you do anything with the sports broadcasting? Do you go out and broadcast?
I don't have anything to do with that.
Okay. Well, I was going to contact someone there at the station because I go out and film high school basketball games, and I was going to talk with the station, see if they want my footage for a website or something. I don't know if you guys do any video work or streaming.
You'd have to talk to the sports department about that.
Okay. Well, I'll give them guys a call and see if, because I don't know, do you guys have local cable access down there where they show?
I don't think we do anymore. I don't think we're on Channel 18 anymore.
Okay, yeah. And so, all the sporting events are good for the kids and the community and public meetings, and if that kind of stuff can be all that content, I think it'd be great for these small communities to have. So, be able to watch their kids playing sports and stuff. All right.
All right, well, good luck to you.
Oh, thank you very much. You have a great day.
Thanks a lot for your time. We appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you calling. Oh, do you know when this might air?
I believe during the Sunday news.
Okay.
We're just together for the Sunday news.
Okay. Is that Sundays in the morning?
Yes, it's 6:05 and 7:05.
6:05. Okay. Well, I'll be listening for it then.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Hey.
Good luck to you.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm going to do this again in 2 years. So
Okay.
I'm going to, whoever wins the race, I'm going to join that party and run in that primary. So.
All right.
All right.
Good luck to you.
Oh, thank you. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That way I can talk about the issues and meet some new people and hopefully expand some more minds to the possibility that we can live as free people and not have to live as slaves.